Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, elegant listeners. It's time for Go, my favorite sports team. Today is a day, again, Mark has chilled. He's actually here, He's having a great time, but for whatever reason, he can't sit on his side, but he's protesting and not coming over here. Listen, I usually sit in my spot, and it makes no sense that I can't today. So you deal with it. So yeah, we're going to be on this side the entire time for this particular episode. Yeah, and I think it's stupid, and I think the elegant listeners should not have to deal with the nonsense of me having to be on the same microphone as you. Well, it's kind of your fault because you are the one that is being obnoxious. I would never. Anyway, hello and welcome to Go My Favorite Sports Team. We're going to be over on this side the entire episode, on Tyler's side, because for whatever reason, Tyler refuses to change the settings. It's not about me having the settings. It's about what's actually capable right now. Things are chaos in the world. Well, yeah, but beside the point. I should be able to be on my own seat. But today I've got news for you guys, and we're going to talk about the news, right, Tyler? Yeah, there's a lot of news and a lot of updates to be happening in sport, and I think it's important that the listeners know. And also, you said you were going to compliment me this episode, and you haven't yet. Well, I'm not going to, and I don't think they should have to hear it, even though you're an incredible person and most timely and considerate and better than me and more handsome. It's just ridiculous that I have to say it every single episode. Yeah, well, it just is what it is. But our first thing is actually WNBA. Sue Bird actually became the first WNBA player to be honored with a statue. Isn't that incredible?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't believe it took this long, but it's incredible. Yeah, it's actually amazing for women's sports in general that we have this going on. And Sue Bird is getting honored in this way. And I think that it's great. And the statue actually looks great, as opposed to some of the other statues that I've seen. Like Tom Brady's recent one. Kind of crazy, right? Could have been a different model. Yeah. I have to agree, even though I'm not a big fan of Tom Brady. But I also have a WNBA story, No, we aren't done with this. Like, this is an 8-foot, 650-pound statue of Sue Bird. It's in Bird's iconic layup pose, representing her first and final points in the league, celebrating a 21-year season. Wow! That's an incredible season, I have to say. Yeah, and 13 All-Star selection, lasting impact on basketball beyond even just her playing days. And it was revealed on August 17th, officially declared Sue Bird Day in Seattle, because she played for Seattle. Incredible! She has her own day! When do I get my own day? Tell me when I get my own day. You're not going to get your own day. Well, what the hell? Why not? Do you think I should have a day? You guys think I should have a day. Oh, well, Mark, your ego is huge. Well, I have a WNBA story as well. Let me look here. Yeah, the MVP voting just finished. All the submissions had to be put in, and it seems like it's going to be 3 women who are running in the top, with Asia Wilson, Nafisi Collier, and what is that? Alyssa Thomas. Cool. Awesome. That's great. There's not really a discussion to be had about that. Well, they're all amazing players, and I agree there's not much of a discussion, but it's important to notice. Okay, I see how it is. Cool technology. You'll like this. There's some new technology to be had in that's debuting at the Rugby World Cup, Mark. Really? What could this possibly be? Rugby? We don't talk about rugby like ever. It's almost like hockey. Hockey is not even a sport as far as I know. I don't even know the rules to it. It's kind of ridiculous you haven't talked about hockey enough. You shut your mouth. We talked about hockey. We have a whole primer on hockey. It's a great primer and people love it. You just are being obnoxious. Well, the hockey fans tend to disagree. But anyway, They are head injury detecting mouthguards, and they're making their debut at the Women's Rugby World Cup. Wow. That's cool. How do they work? Well, the mouthguards contain an accelerometer and a gyroscope to measure both the change in a player's velocity in a collision and the rotational force they're subjected to. So when the mouthguard measures the force the player experiences in a collision and issues an alert of thresholds that are exceeded, the alert is sent via Bluetooth to doctors, and the mouthguard also contains LEDs that flash red as a visual of a possible injury so that refs can pull them out of the game just by seeing the flashing red lights. That's really cool, I gotta say.
Time's off. Girls, we have an HIA for blue number 6. Have to go for an HIA.
So when the officials see the flashing light and they collide like that, they'll just be like, yo, you gotta stop playing. Yeah, that's essentially how that's gonna work. So basically, instead of, having somebody on the pitch side as a doctor noticing a collision, they are going to see the red lights, and the referee will send the people over to the sideline to get assessed for potential head trauma. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, hopefully it'll prevent further head traumas, more CTE, especially in women's rugby. It's gonna be great, so that when you collide like this, oh, yeah. If you collide like that, then they'll know if you're concussed. Isn't that great, everybody? I certainly think so. Well, I have rugby news too. The Canadian head coach told his players to be less Canadian. I don't. That's kind of strange. Why would you want to be less Canadian in a World Cup where you're representing your country? Well, I think it has to do with them having to be violent. And Canadians are known for their friendliness. And so he wants them to be less Canadian. He wants them to be like, excuse me one moment. Be right back. I fixed it. Give me a sec. Ugh. The Canadian head coach told his players to be less Canadian and collide and, win. Because that's what the goal is in these big World Cups, is you want to win. And winning's important. Being the best, being the strongest, being the coolest like I am. Because I'm amazing. And you're amazing. People should strive to be the best that they can be. I don't disagree, but still seems counterintuitive when you're representing your country to tell them to be less of that. In other news, there was a scripted fight scheduled between Raja Jackson and Psycho Stu on a live stream event on Kick, hosted by Pro Wrestling Academy, and it was taking place in Sun Valley, California. But apparently there was some beef between these guys because Raja Jackson went off script, body slammed the dude, and then just pummeled him in the face, and the guy's now in a coma. That's crazy. I heard that something had happened beforehand. Is that true? Yeah, apparently he had punched him in the head at a different encounter and had some remarks.
What, you don't know me?
No. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little. Oh, you don't. Easy. He's not a worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the was that?
You're good.
What the was that?
You don't sell it? Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the hold on. I don't play that.
Oh, sorry.
No, I will him
we're
up,
good.
bro.
I know you will.
No.
We're good.
I will
sorry,
him up, bro.
I know you will.
I don't play that.
Sorry about that, bro.
I'm
sorry, bro. Hey, it's gonna all work out, dude.
I apologize. I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were a worker.
I get it.
So it was kind of a thing that a storm was brewing and they probably should have stopped it beforehand, but all of those actions are uncalled for and absolutely horrible. I agree. I believe Psycho Stu, also known as, what's his real name? Stuart Smith. Yeah, it seemed like he instigated some stuff and there was some other stuff going on. And I saw, it's just horrible. The guy's in a coma.
Correction, Psycho Stu was not put into a coma. but was unconscious upon arrival to the ER after the incident. According to his Instagram account, he received serious head injuries, which include trauma to both the upper and lower jaws, a laceration to his upper lip, and a fracture to the maxilla bone, which unfortunately resulted in the loss of several teeth.
Like, that's pure criminal activity. That is outside the realm of sports. I agree. And I think there's a level of negligence from the runners of the event because of what was happening beforehand. Now, I'm going to bring this up because you probably would, especially since we did a whole episode about these two people, and it was ridiculous. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift got engaged. I know, it's crazy, right? Apparently, it was right after their recording of the podcast, which Taylor Swift starred on, and it was all planned at his brother's house with flowers and other stuff. It was great. They're officially now engaged, and their caption on their Instagram post is, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married."
Is there a difficulty to focus on everything on the field? Is that a challenge for you?
Well,
Engaged.
Exactly. I got one more ring from it. I would say well, two if we're counting the first Super Bowl. I would say I've ever since I've been dating Taylor, life has been fun. It's been exciting. Obviously, a lot more highs, and I accept that. But it's just I'm living life. Living on a high. Yeah.
And now the NFL season has kicked off, and so Travis is in his career and doing his amazing things as he's fighting and playing on the field. Well, not fighting, but it's aggressive. You know what I mean. Yeah. Football. Boom. Mark, did you see that the Women's Professional Baseball League tryouts just began and over 600 people showed up? I did not see that. So in 2026, the WPBL League will debut the inaugural season, which will be approximately 7 weeks in total. 4 weeks of regular season play, 1 week of all-star competition, and 2 weeks of playoffs. The games will be played on Thursday to Sunday, with each team playing 2 games per week. The league begins in May of next year, and there will be a 4-day training period prior to the regular season, while players are expected to get into regular season shape on their own prior to the season. But the tryouts were held in late August in Washington, D.C., and the teams and rosters will be announced in October. You can check all of that out at www.womensprobaseballleague.com. That's a really long thing. They should have just done the PW or the WPBL. WPBL? WPBL. Yeah, I agree. That is a really long address. So you said womensprobaseballleague.com. Yeah. womensprobaseballleague.com. Cool. All right. That's interesting. I got cricket news. Are you ready for the chaos of the cricket news? Oh my God. I'm not even ready for this freaking cricket. Long, silly, long. All right. Sri Lanka crushed Bangladesh by 6 wickets to record a commanding win in Asia Cup. Putham Nissanka and Kamil Mishra made light work of a modest target to power Sri Lanka to a 6-wicket win against Bangladesh in their Group B match in the Asia Cup. After restricting Bangladesh to 139 for 5, Sri Lanka crossed the finish line with 2 balls and 6 wickets to pair a record commanding win, making 140 for 4 in 14 overs. Even though Mustafa Razman 135 removed Kuzal Mendes 3 in the lower over of the early breakthrough, Bangladesh seamers never managed to use the new ball to put further north. The Sri Lanka raced to 50 for 1 in the power play. Long, silly, long, silly, long, long. 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 Long, long, silly, long, silly, long, long. Mark, where'd you go? I died because cricket is crazy. Ah! Kind of out of news, but apparently Joe Burrow got injured his toe while playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Missed the game, majority of the game. Jake Browning stepped up and they won, which is crazy. That just happened today. In other news, there's just chaos. NFL has kicked off. The college football has kicked off, and there's a ton of upsets happening. There's a lot of sports around, so make sure and tune in all the time for all the sports. That's going to do it for this episode, at least for us. Hi. Hello. I was sitting on the floor for that entire episode playing with puppets. No, but there's a ton of sports news going on, and I recorded some great episodes with some guests also this weekend. Mark has been busy. Mark has been chaotic, and I still wanted to get an episode out for you guys. Sorry for being on the floor. I hope you guys enjoyed the puppet play. I need to fix Mark's puppet's eyeball because it flew off in one of those collisions. But the crazy thing about the mouthpieces, how has that not been like the fact that that's going for rugby first? Like the NFL could be using that right now. So many other places could be using that right now. The WNBA without Caitlin Clark there, it's down to 3 MVP candidates, all of which are playing outstanding. Women's sports this year really on the rise with the Professional Baseball League. There's a lot going on, and I recommend you tune in. There's the Women's Hockey League. There's the Women's Basketball League. There's now going to be a Women's Baseball League next year. I know there's a lot happening in the world and a lot of things going on. I mean, the stuff in Nepal, there's the stuff that's happening here in the US. There's the stuff that's happening with Russia and Poland. Like there's tons of news and tons of things going on. So I just want to fill you in on the sports news. I wish you guys all the best. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you didn't see this episode, that was me the whole time playing with 2 puppets. My arms are sweaty. I'm very sweaty. It was a lot of work. I know this is a shorter episode, but I hope you guys enjoyed the news. I hope you guys enjoyed my rendition of Mark. I hope the editors had a lot of fun with this. I hope they filled in some of the time to make for explosions and chaos. Especially when I had to run off and fix the Mark puppet. Huge shout out to the editors, guys. If at the very least, support the editors of this podcast. They're so phenomenal. Watch, listen, share it with a friend. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. But that's going to do it for this episode. If you have jacuzzas, if you have other things you want me to share, if you have other news, other chaos, go to reddit.com/r/GMFST. And merch should be coming soon. It's being worked on. It's been in the process for a while. I know I keep harping on it, but it's store.gmfst.com. Some really cool stuff going to be coming out soon. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. That's going to do it for this episode. Appreciate you guys. Bye. 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 So sweaty. Oh, time to load the puppets on. I got Mark. And I got me to control. Man, I have to like stick my arms straight up. Oh, this is more difficult than I thought. All right. I might have to just lay back a bit.